Hi friends, my name is Ram, and on public demand I'm presenting you a new lecture on Puppet configuration. So what is Puppet? We need to understand Puppet. Puppet is basically an open source configuration management tool, okay, and server automation framework. Puppet can run on Unix like operating systems, Linux, Unix. Also it can run on Microsoft Windows. It allows you to manage and perform administrative tasks and the configuration of hundreds of systems from one master server. So therefore in this demonstration what you will learn is how to install Puppet on CentOS 8, which is the latest release. I will install and configure CentOS 8 server as a Puppet server called Puppet Master and another one as agent. So therefore what we need is we need two CentOS 8 servers for this purpose, CentOS 8 machines, and both will have unique IP addresses and they should be able to reach each other. And then what we will do is we will do pre-installation checks, install and configure Puppet server on the master, and then install and configure Puppet agent on the agent machine and verify Puppet agent configuration and create our first Puppet manifest. That's what the objective. Okay, so I have one machine ready and I'm demonstrating here how to create a second machine quickly and install CentOS 8 if we have not already done that. So this is my Oracle VirtualBox which I'm running and which I'm using for this entire setup. I'm running this Oracle VM VirtualBox on CentOS 8. Alright, on Windows 8.1. So if you can look at, if you want to see my current version of Oracle VirtualBox, it is Oracle VM VirtualBox 6.0, latest release 6.0.12. Alright, so this is my current version. Let's create a new one. One machine is already running. Let's quickly create a new machine and then we'll do the installation. As the installation will progress, we'll start and prepare this server. In the meanwhile the client will get ready. Okay, so this is my tester machine or agent machine, right, for my Linux CentOS 8. So I'm going to use Linux 64-bit. So use 64-bit. Let's give it 3 GB 3.5 GB RAM because I have sufficient RAM, and 18 GB disk space is sufficient. And let's configure the settings. To first thing is to insert the ISO, which is CentOS ISO DVD, which I have downloaded. Let me show you. This is my image CentOS 8 which I have downloaded. I'm using this CentOS 8 ISO, and also the network part, which is more important. One is for NAT, which is for updating the CentOS 8 and then downloading, installing softwares. Second one is for host only, that is I should be able to connect from my Windows machine. And third one is internal, which will be used from one machine to another, that is from my master to this client configuration or master to agent configuration. The connectivity between the two will be done by this, will be used by internet. Okay, so this is what is required, network configuration. So this is the important settings before we proceed. Now let's start. It will start the installation. I will start the installation and then I'll get back to my Puppet configuration wizard and Puppet configuration steps. So DVD is already tested, so I'm starting the installation quickly. I'm going to do a bare minimum install and then I'll upgrade and install the required packages. It's about to start. So nothing much, I'll do a minimum install, so that will save me a lot of time, and I'll keep default configuration. So my installation steps are going to be quite simple and fast. In fact, you can take note of how much time it will take to install CentOS 8, the minimum install. Okay, so here we are ready to go. Mouse is creating problem because of this detection and the resolution. Okay, so just bear with me till I reach to that. In fact, let me don't waste time and directly use that key based, because I have to do minimum install, so I don't require mouse pointer. I can do it without mouse. So installation source, installation destination. Let me first go to the installation destination, and this is what the destination is. Select, unselect, go back to the done, press done. Alright, so installation destination selected, and software selection and everything is local media, server with the GUI. I want to do bare minimum install, so I don't want GUI, so let me select the minimum install. So minimum install is what I want. Alright, so I'll simply go to the done now, because I wanted to do minimum install. Done. So now it is minimum install. Right, rest everything will take care once the installation is done. We want quickly this setup is up and running. Now let's set up the root password. Red Hat. I want to keep simple password. And user creation I don't need, and in fact yeah, I don't need that. Okay, so till this installation completes, what we will do is we'll set up our other machine for the Puppet Master. Alright, so let's start with that Puppet Master setup. So we are on the master now. Let's start with the NTP server, or network time protocol server. For that, CentOS supports Crony. So let's install. First let me see whether I'm able to reach internet or not. Okay, so ping google.com. so if you are not able to reach, you may have to set up your network for this. I'm able to reach the internet. By the way, if you just want to verify and you are doing it for the first time, what you should do is you should open this file etc sysconfig. Let me tell you, sysconfig network scripts. Alright, and under this you will see the files are there: inp0, ifcfg, enp0, s3, and this is your net, and you must enable this by using this on boot is equal to yes. So you must change this line so that when you reboot your machine, this starts. Now yum install Crony. So this is a simple command, yum install Crony, or if you type -y here itself, which that would mean that it will not even ask you or confirm before installing the package. And this is that simple. So installing this package, you can use the DNF, which is actually the latest method. So let's start with the DNF install Crony. Okay, oh, there's a typing mistake, it's Crony, CHRONY. I noticed that also. So DNF is the command which you should do. Crony is already installed, so if it is not, you must install it. Now we should open this file etc cronyd.conf, and this is the file where we set the server configuration, right? Crony.conf file. So here you look at the server, allow client from local network. So what network you want to allow? So YYP, and I'm going to edit this file to allow all systems from the server 10.0.0. Right, this is going to be my network, because my agent is going to run on 10.0.0.15. That's going to be my network. And then if you look at the servers, this is the pool, this is already enabled, right? So pool is already enabled, all is good. So you don't have to make any changes as such, except that you want to allow from local machine of the network 10.0.0.0, right? And this is the network. Now what you need to simply do is you need to start the NTP server, right? So systemctl start cronid. Check the status, it is running, and you need to enable firewall for this. Firewall cmd, sorry, firewall hyphen cmd hyphen permanent hyphen add hyphen service is equal to, and the service name is what is that, NTP, and this is the service. So service added, and now it is enabled, so that means firewall will not block the NTP port. So firewall cmd permanent is basically for reboot, that so that it's sustain on reboot. And now we need to reload it, firewall cmd hyphen reload. This will reload the firewall. Alright, and to enable it at the boot time, what you should do is you should enable it, so that it enable, that means it should start on reboot. So enable start status firewall settings, we are all good now for this purpose. So that is NTP server configuration. Okay, that's the NTP server related commands. Now next is what we should do is we should install this Puppet repository. So for that we are going to use simple RPM command. So RPM command, I have already typed that to save time, so I just want to use directly the command RPM hyphen UVH. So hyphen UVH https yum puppet labs puppet 5 release 8, and now you see it is EL8, means enterprise Linux 8 repository. So it will retrieve the repository, it will install that, and you will be good for installation of the package. And now we must reboot the machine. As we are rebooting the machine, let's take a look at the setup which we have done. So that machine is also ready. Now we can reboot it. Alright, so this machine also require a reboot, and you will see this is our agent machine. So let me remove the device from this machine, optical device, and CentOS 8, force unmount, and I need to reset the machine. The device is removed, now it machine will reboot. So now boot the machine. So now let the machine come up, and the boot happens. After that, what I'll show you the steps on the agent also. Okay, so it will take few minutes. So this is our agent machine. So let me log in as root Red Hat machine. That agent machine has come up. Now as I told you, we need to do this etc sysconfig network scripts and ifcfg enp0 s3. We need to enable this. So this will enable our network card at the time of reboot. Also we need to enable that 9 IP address. We need to specify the static IP address for this machine. So on boot yes, and boot pro 2, it should not be static, it should be static, it should not be DHCP. Static IP address is equal to 10.0.0.0 15 is going to be the IP address of our agent, and net mask equal to 255.255.255.0. This is going to be net mask, and gateway should be 255 dot 10.0.0.1. that is going to be the gateway. So this is going to be our IP address for this machine, right? So 10.0.0.15, and on boot, yes, this is the network setting for this machine. Another thing which we need to set up on this machine is host name /etc/host name, and we don't want this host name. Our host name will be agent, because this is agent machine. Agent dot theskillpedia.com. This is going to be our host name for this machine, agent dot theskillpedia.com. And also what we also need to do is we also need to update it now, DNF update, because the internet is working. Oh, internet is not working. Why? Because simply because we have not enabled that. If you try ping, it will not work right now. Ping google.com, it will not work, because we have to enable that if-up enp0s3. Hope this command work in the minimum installed. Good. And now we should be able to ping Google, and now we enable that. All right, that is update. So DNF update, this will update our repositories, this will update our system, because after the release I'm sure there might be some patches and updates released, so we are updating that. So CentOS 8 app stream base, it will update that. Now in the meanwhile, let's go back to our client master machine, and we set the same thing for the master also. Okay, so let's go to the master machine. Let's minimize this machine. Let's go to the master. This is our master, and master machine, if you remember, I restarted this machine. Root Red Hat, go to the classic, because I love classic style. Okay, so this is going to be my classic display. Now you can choose whatever display you want, Wayland or that, the new display server. So at login time you can choose the display of your choice. So here we are. Now open the terminal, and here what we need to do, as we discussed, the same thing, the IP address part. Okay, so vi/etc/sysconfig network -scripts ifcfg enp0s9. It is not enabled, ifcfg hyphen. Okay, that means this is not enabled on this machine. So let me power off this machine, because we need that IP address for internal communication, and we need to add this machine. So here this is the machine. So once it is power off, we are going to edit that, and we are going to add that additional card which was not available. The internal networking adapter was not enabled, so I'm just powering it off and I'm enabling that. Now the machine is power off. Let's take a look at the settings of this machine and verify that whether host only adapter or internal network is enabled or not. Even if it is enabled, so you just need to verify it is enabled, and now we can check, and we start this machine, and now we start this machine also, that is tester machine. We have updated and we have installed all the packages on this machine. So let's first set up the master, Puppet master, and let's work on this machine. Okay, now we have verified. Let's check the IP address, IP space A of this master. So if you look at master is 10.0.0.14. Same thing, we need to set this, the host name of this machine. So vi/etc/host name, the way we did it for the agent. Alright, and host name should be master dot theskillpedia.com. This is going to be the master. Alright, we need to verify the master, and we need to make an entry into master into the etc host file, so that we are able to ping each other. So here we need to specify the IP address 10.0.0.14 is the IP address for this machine, and the machine name is master dot theskillpedia.com. Alright, and we should be able to ping now, ping theskillpedia.com. Now we are able to ping, and this is our master server, Puppet master IP address configuration and etc host setup. And remember, this is our internal networking configured, which will allow this machine to communicate with the Puppet agent. Now next step is we need to install the software, that is Puppet server. So let's we have already configured the repository, if you notice. So dnf install Puppet server. So this will install the Puppet server because we have already enabled the repository, so it will install the Puppet server on this machine. And then we'll configure the memory allocation and max memory and all that, you know, for this purpose. So let it take its own time. So it is installation dependency, Puppet server and Puppet agent. So installing this Puppet server. Okay, after that what we'll do is we'll set up the memory part. Okay, my speed is quite fast. You can see that 4 MB per second. Done. So verifying, installation check. Alright, so installation of Puppet server is done. We'll edit now etc sysconfig Puppet server. Okay, vi/etc/sysconfig Puppet server. And here you see uh, Java argument, right? Java args tk arg, where is the Java argument? Yes, here it is. So here what we need to verify is we need to add few more arguments here. Let me insert the argument which I should insert, and this is the argument x ms1g, that is to allow memory, maximum memory 1 GB to this server, x mx1g, x ms2g, right? So I'm allocating this memory to this. Right now if you see x, it was 2 GB allocated to this x ms2g, x ms mx2g, and I want to allocate 2 GB, but in fact let's keep it 2 GB. Why to allocate 1 GB? Because I have sufficient RAM. So x mx, in fact x ms 1 GB, and that is main memory 2 GB and max 2 G, correct. This is fine, that's fine for us. So memory part is okay. Now let's open that editor main configuration file. So let's go to the directory cd/etc/puppet, okay, puppet labs, and puppet, okay, where we are working right now, etc puppet labs puppet, and we need to edit the file puppet.conf. In this file we have a few changes if you have to make, like master, where directory, log directory, run directory, PID file, coordinate. We don't want to make any changes, right? In fact, what we should do is maximum what we should do, we should add our DNS alt on this. So let's add that line. So DNS alt names master.theskillpedia.com and puppet, and then we should add a main configuration part of this, okay, and that is quite simple. So let me add that also. So under main what we need to certificate name, all right, server master.theskillpedia.com, environment production, run interval 1 hour. This is the main. So this is the main configuration. So save and exit from here. That is the server configuration settings, and now we need to enable and start the service, okay, that is puppet server. So start puppet server and enable. We need to enable it so that it starts at boot time. In the meanwhile, what we'll do is let's start our agent also, so that we can configure the agent. So my agent machine also should be up, coming very fast. Let it come. It is taking time, no problem, should have patience. Now another thing, after this installation, after this configuration, once we enable it, puppet server run on port number 8140. So we should add the port to firewall also, because agent will be trying to reach this machine. So we need to enable port number 8140 for puppet server. Okay, this is our client machine. So let's log in. Root Red Hat. Let's open the etc host file for this machine also, vi/etc/hosts, and we need to add those lines here also. 10.0.0.14 is our master, and master dot theskillpedia.com, and 10.0.0.15 is our agent, and agent dot theskillpedia .com. Agent, AGENTTHESKILL skillpedia.com. I just double make sure. Let's try to ping master now. Are we able to ping master? We are able to ping master. So we are able to reach the master dot the skillpedia .com. We are able to reach the master, right? And same way we can try reach the agent also, and we are able to reach the agent. So our network is fine, our agent IP address, host name, everything is all set up, right? Let's see if the service started. So service is started. Let's enable that now so that it start at runtime, at boot time. Enable, and now we can see the status also. It is running. That's good part. And another thing is, now we need to enable firewall. As I said, firewall -cmd -permanent -add -service, and the service name is, port number is 8140. so let's add the port. Add port is equal to 8140. port is of type TCP. Add port for 8140 TCP, and firewall CMD reload. So firewall is loaded. Oh, -reload, I missed that. Okay, now this is Puppet server configuration part complete, with a restart of the service and everything. Let's go back to the agent now and configure the agent. Let's continue the agent now. So DNF install puppet agent. This is what we require, but of course what we need to do is, first we need to configure the what is that, repository. All right, so let's configure the repository first on this. Now to save time, I just paused the video. What I have done is, in the meanwhile, I copied that command on my Puppet master and put that command into the script, and I use scp command to copy this script here. So look at this, what I have done smartly, because it will take long time to copy this. So what I simply have to execute this command now. So chmod 755 and rpms.sh/rpms.sh, and this will install that. What happened now? Program may be freely distributable. Okay, let's try cp command. Oh, let's see that what we missed, that -uvh. It should be this, right? So let's try now, and that's it. It is because of hyphen, it was quite simple. Now we can install the Puppet agent. DNF install Puppet agent after repository is configured. So once the Puppet agent is installed on this, because we are working on the agent, so we just need to update this file. We need to update only the Puppet agent. After the Puppet agent is installed, we will edit the file Puppet labs puppet, and we need to add one section on this file, right? So let's quickly do that. Now it is matter of few minutes. So in the meanwhile, you have so many articles and blogs on my website theskillpedia.com, and so many courses offered at theskillpedia.com. So I request you to visit the website www.theskillpedia.com and join a course there. Okay, good. Now let's edit the file. /etc slash puppet labs slash puppet, and main file is puppet.conf. And in this file what we need to do is enter a main section. So main and certificate name. Cert name is equal to agent dot theskillpedia.com. Check the spelling, verify please once more. agent.theskillpedia.com, and then we have server is equal to master dot theskillpedia.com. This is our master. Environment is equal to production, and run interval is equal to 1 hour. RUNINTERVAL, and run interval is equal to 1 hour. Environment is equal to production. All good. Save and quit the file. Now what we need to do is we need to run a script from here to register this puppet on the puppet master. So /opt, under that puppet labs, under that puppet. Alright, and then from here we need to use resource service. Okay, let's go to this directory first. And here we see bin cache, include modules, masters. So here we need to go to the directory and we need to see that. So here we have the service. Here the command puppet resource service. Puppet resource service, and this will detect it, right? So we see all the services are running. If you look at here in this particular case, puppet ensures enable is equal to true, and everywhere you see it is enable is equal to true. And more importantly, puppet, right, ensure is equal to running and enable is equal to true. Fantastic. So now let's go back to the master, and this is our master. Let's go to this directory, opt puppet labs bin puppet certificate list, and warning is deprecated. Okay, so then what we should do? No problem, in near future it will be removed, but now it is working. Okay, so now let's sign it. Must provide host or hyphen hyphen all using sign, no problem. So let's type sign agent dot the skillpedia.com. Cannot find CSR for agent dot the skillpedia.com. Okay, now I'm back on the agent, and I noticed that the command which I issued here was from a different directory. This command should have been issued from this directory rather than puppet slash binc. Okay, so there was a mistake here. Now it is done. All right, so that was slightly error. So we should have ls hyphen l. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it is actually one of the same thing, so it is running. And we also verify that firewall is open, the port number 8140 is open here or not. So firewall hyphen cmd hyphen hyphen permanent hyphen hyphen add hyphen port is equal to 8140 TCP. Firewall reload. We need to enable it, and now let's go to the server again. There is puppet master, and try the same command. Okay, what am I missing here? Just give me a second. Service, the command is puppet resource service puppet ensure is equal to running, enable is equal to true. This is the actual command. It happens. Now yes, it is good. Ensure is equal to running, yes. Now this is what it was, we were missing this. So once it is done on the agent side, now we'll go to the client side. Look at verify once again, don't miss it. So we should be in the opt puppet labs bin directory, and the command is puppet resource service puppet ensure is equal to running, enable is equal to true. This should be the command. And now we can go back to the agent master here. Alright, now let's try certificate list. Now we got it finally, and this was missing in earlier output, so it took quite some time to reach to this. Fine, now we have certificate received from the agent, and now we'll register it. And that's great, that's what we have done. Fantastic. Yes, signing the certificate for this agent. Wow. So this part is done. So we have done this part. Let's verify now puppet agent is working fine or not. Let's go to the puppet agent, and now here we need to verify this command puppet agent hyphen hyphen test. Hyphen hyphen test. So this will verify the working of the agent, and all is working fine. So we can see that using configuration environment production, retrieving plugin facts, retrieving plugins, retrieving this, caching, applying configuration file. So we are working, and Puppet agent and Puppet master is configured successfully, and that's all for this lab. Thank you so much for watching. It was a great time, and the same video, in fact the step-by-step lab assignment is available on the Skillpedia. The link is given in the description. Please take a look, and you can try yourself from the lab available on my website. Thank you so much.